Great. So recording our BSPU, I'm going to introduce it to Facebook. And then as I always do, I'll go off Facebook and I'll come back to you guys and answer the questions that you have. So here we go. Starting live video now. Trying to reconnect. I love when Facebook does that. I mean, it didn't even go live yet and it's already trying to reconnect me. So let's see, let's give it a second and make sure that it can reconnect me. For some reason, it doesn't like my signal here. You know, I'm only in Los Angeles, California, where we should certainly, absolutely have great Wi-Fi. So here we go. Hey, Rob Kosberg here from Bestseller Publishing. Good to see you guys. I want to talk to you about something today that is a mindset thing, and I think can absolutely explode your ideas for how you can grow your business. I want to talk about how you can grow your business 10 times larger than it is right now. And in some of your cases, many, many more times than that. And I also want to explain how it's easier, actually. Stupid Facebook is trying to reconnect again, forgive me. But it's actually easier to grow your business 10x than it is to grow your business 2x, okay? So I want to share with you guys about the details of that too while this tries to reconnect me. You know, I put together all this gold stuff. I have all these cool things here to share with you on my notepad. I want to let the world know, for crying out loud, man, what's a guy got to do? Technology. Here we go, back again. It is easier to grow your business 10x than it is 2x, and that's in general. But specifically, I'm going to talk about how you can do it with a book. So here's the thing. So last year was a record year for Bestseller Publishing. Obviously, I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of the team that we have here at BSP, that those of you in BSPU, those of you that are done-for-you clients, our mastermind clients, etc., are working directly with me and others. Super proud of that, right? Right. I checked our numbers for this year. We're already 50%, 58% to be exact, up over the same time last year, and last year was a record-breaking year. So we're 58% up over last year from where we are right now. Now, when it's a multi-million-dollar company, 58% is pretty good. It's not quite, we're not quite doubling what we did last year, but last year was a record year. Should I be excited about something like that? Yeah, right? I should be excited about that. But let me tell you something. When you've built businesses and have grown your businesses to a certain level, 58% isn't as exciting as the idea of 10xing my business. Going from, say, $3 million a year in revenue to $5 million a year in revenue is cool. But going from $3 million a year in revenue to, say, $30 million a year in revenue, now we're talking about something that is exciting, something that will keep you up at night and wake you up early in the morning. I think for some of us, the mindset challenge that we have is that, and I'm going to share, I learned some of this stuff from Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach. Really cool. And this is another reason that you need to be involved in coaching and have a coach and have someone that can help you, because, I mean, you know, as you guys know, I'm in a couple of different masterminds, and my business growth, I can directly relate back to that. I'm not selling you my mastermind, I'm not selling you anything. I'm just telling you that this kind of line of thinking has come directly from people that have helped me with this for myself. So here's the really cool thing. The whole idea of 10xing your business is when you understand the tools that you have to work with. Again, learn this from Dan Sullivan. You can look it up, YouTube it, etc. Really, really cool. When you learn the tools that you have to work with, it's easier to 10x your business than 2x your business. And let me prove it to you right now. If you want to double your business, and let's say that BSP will want to double our business, we're actually close, right, as far as the track we're on right now to doubling our business, even though we just had our biggest year ever in 7-year history of BSP. If you want to double your business, you have the tools. You have 3 in particular mindset type tools that you can use to double, triple, quadruple, 10x your business. And they are how you look at your past, how you look at your present, and how you look at your future. Okay? So if you're writing these things down, write down my tools are past, present, and future. If you want to double your business, you are primarily focused to double your business or to make incremental changes in your business. You are primarily focused on the past and the present. The past and the present. Why? Because if you're looking to make incremental changes in your business, then you're going to go back to your successes and failures of the past and recent past and where things are today, and you're going to think, how can I tweak those things? If you use online marketing like I do and spend money in online marketing, you might think, okay, what's a new funnel I can use with a client book that I did, right? Or what's a new advertising campaign or a new case study? And those are things that we roll out every single week. New case studies, new advertising campaigns, etc. Incremental changes that can take you from where you are right now to doubling your business, okay? So you're working primarily in the past and in the present, and you're thinking, what can I tweak? What can I change? Here's the challenge with that. There's no energy and excitement found in that. Not really. Now, if you're a mechanic by nature, an engineer by nature, then by nature you're, a tweaker and a tester and somebody that likes to try new things, right? That is completely understandable. But if you're not that way, there's no energy in it. There's no excitement in it because you're working from the past. You're working from the present. Now stay with me for a moment. If you wanted to take your business from, let's say, $100,000 a year right now and go to not 200,000, but to $1 million. Or let's say your business right now is $500,000 a year and you don't want to go to $1 million, you want to go to $5 million. Well, let me tell you something. You can't operate in the past and in the present. You can't think in terms of a new tweak that you can make to 10x your business. You have to operate from a completely different frame of mind. And that frame of mind, the tool that you'll use is you'll need to be completely future-based. You've got to create something entirely new, something entirely different, something that you've never created or thought of before. And let me tell you something. For everybody, that is exciting. That creates energy. Income and what you produce ultimately comes from the energy that you have and are creating from within. When you work from the future and you really think in terms of the future and you think in terms of 10x, which you can't do by making a tweak or two, let me tell you something, your energy level starts to go through the roof. I'm going to finish this Facebook Live because Facebook cut me off halfway through. Sorry, they're not getting the good stuff. You guys are going to get the good stuff today. So I'll post it anyway, and I'll let people know that if they want to get the full video, then they can just ask for it, and I'll give it to them. Too bad, though. Too bad for those folks. So this is important stuff because this is important stuff for me. Maybe you find it important, maybe you don't. But up until now, I've been I'm not unhappy and have been somewhat satisfied with the growth and what Bestseller Publishing has been doing. But it's been primarily focused in the past and the present, meaning that we want to grow and change incrementally, right? We want, I've said different things like, it's tough to scale a service business like ours because we need so many more writers and all of that is past from challenges and current challenges focused. And because of those focuses, we've grown incrementally. Now, I'm not unhappy. We had a record year. I'm not unhappy. We're already almost 60% up over the same time last year. Why would anybody be unhappy about those things? But does it keep me up at night in excitement, get me up early in the morning in excitement? No, it doesn't at all, to be quite frank. However, the idea that we can find a way to 10x what we do at Bestseller Publishing, to help 10 times as many people or more, to do 10 times the revenue, to support more friends and family and people that I love that work for Bestseller Publishing, that is thrilling. That is exciting. And that requires a completely different mentality because we would have to create something that is completely different from what Bestseller Publishing is today. completely different, something new. Now, here's the cool thing. As I started thinking through this and thinking about 10X, I went away from, we need a new sales funnel, or we need to create, or spend more money on Facebook advertising, I went away from that completely, because that in and of itself is incremental changes and not the answer. And, my brain, my subconscious started to work on the solution to this. And let me tell you something, I've come up with some really cool things that we have never done before, that when I do the simple math, we can literally 10X the size of our business at Bestseller Publishing without going crazy as far as overburdening anybody that we have. This is entirely new. It's an entirely new and scalable idea that I would not have been as excited about had I not been thinking 10x instead of 2x. So I hope this makes sense. And I'm going to open it up, and it looks like we have tons on the line, 31 people now. So welcome all of you guys. Glad that you're on. I want a couple things from this. One is I'm sharing, some of my numbers and vagaries, which doesn't matter at all to you. Whether if your business is doing 10 times what Bestseller Publishing is already doing, or you're doing 1/10 of what Bestseller Publishing is doing, makes no difference whatsoever, because you are where you are right now in life, and you have the same 3 tools to work with that I have to work with, and that is your past, your present, and your future. And so everything, if you're looking to add an additional $100,000 a year to your business, and maybe that is doubling your business, or maybe that's tripling your business, then you're going to go to the past and the present to find your solutions to that. You're going to go to what you already know, what you already think works. You're going to make tweaks and changes to the challenges that you've been facing before, problems that you've had, etc. And you may see some incremental growth, but you're not going to see going from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year. You're not going to see going from $200,000 a year to $2 million a year with that kind of thinking. You have to think 10X future-based. What's new? What can I create that's brand new? Now, where do you get this information from? I hope that you get it from people that are mentors of yours. I hope that you're going to get it from people that help you with coaching and mentorship, and maybe you're at a mastermind, etc. You don't have to invent, in one sense, how to do it. If you want to go from 6 figures to 7 figures, geez, there's like 1,700 new millionaires every single day created in the United States. It's not like there's a big secret on how to do it. You know what I mean? There have been 1,000 books written about it. So you can do it, but in whatever your space is, whatever your field is, you're going to have to approach this problem in an entirely new way. And let me tell you something, that's when it gets exciting. That's when you give your subconscious a problem and you go to bed at night. Subconscious, how do I 10X my business? How do I go from $1 million to $10 million a year? How do I go from $100,000 to $1 million? How do I go from $50,000 to $500,000 a year? You may think, that's just enormous. I can't do it. You can, but you need to think entirely different than you think right now. And the tool you're going to use is you're going to focus on your future. You're going to focus on what you want in your future. And your brain and your mind and your ideas and what you read and how you dig deep and the questions you ask will begin to reveal those things. It has for us already. And in fact, I have a couple of things lined up where I believe, say as early as June, we're going to see some amazing things that could 10X our business for BSP. Now, maybe not in the next 12 months, but maybe in the next 12 months. But in the next 12 months, we can completely build out the infrastructure to do 10X what we want to do without adding, a ton of finance or burden to our business, because it's completely new. It's completely different. I hope that makes sense to you. So let's go ahead and open this up to any questions that you guys might have. Let's see, by the way, Feel free to ask me any questions that you have about anything of your book project in general. Doesn't have to be on this particular topic. I know this is more about mindset, but this is the stuff that I've been studying and thinking about for myself lately, and I thought that this would be helpful for you. So let's see what you guys are saying. So good to go, Rob. Hola. Hey, Marion. Hola. Issa says, delete Facebook. Just kidding. Facebook doesn't want us to have abundance. That may be true. Marion says, whoop, whoop. Issa, this is awesome. Good. I'm glad you like it. Deborah says, I've always done well with magical thinking like you were describing. Love that, Deborah. Yes, and magical thinking comes from thinking about the future, not thinking about your past and your present, because your past and present has to do with what you've already done or what you're doing right now. To 10x your business, you're not going to be doing anything that you did in the past in one sense, or anything that you're doing right now. It's completely new. It's magic, as you say, and magic comes from thinking about what it needs to be from a more future tense perspective. Forbes says, totally makes sense. Love 10x, 100x, 1000x. I want that too. Does take a mindset shift and letting go of the old and current limiting beliefs. Totally agree with that, 100%. And I am just muting everybody again because it looks like some people just jumped on. Issa says, I'm doing 2 brand new things this year. I'm already kind of tapped out, just trying to get those done. Should I be working on 10X this year since I don't know what my field is? And 2 little happy faces. So obviously not knowing what your field is significant, Issa. You have got to nail that down. It's hard to go 10x when you're, 10x of 0 is still 0. I know you're not at 0, but if you're looking at starting something brand new, then for sure something brand new is going to take an entirely new way of thinking about it. So in some ways, everything you're doing right now needs to be future-based, right? Because you're talking about using your book in a new way to create an entirely new business, new revenue stream, et cetera. If any of you are in that position, then fantastic. That is going to take, as Deborah said, magical thinking. So 100% you need to focus on that. Forbes is Cheryl Spangler. I need to change my name. Yes, Cheryl, you need to do that. I don't know what Forbes is all about. What does that have to do with Cheryl Spangler? So, hi, Cheryl. How are you? Great to have you on the call. And I'm going to see a few of you guys, I guess. I think, Cheryl, you're coming in for our 3-day event this week. Deborah, I know you are. I think a couple of others of you are as well, which is exciting. I have really, really cool plans and things in store for you guys. So Cheryl says, yes, can't wait to be a sponge. So this is at least a taste. I know we've only been going 20 minutes or so, but I'm here to answer your questions. What I would challenge you to do, though, is I would challenge you seriously to get out a pen and paper and take a good hard look at what your business, income, life is right now. Write down the numbers, write down the thoughts, and then think in terms of, okay, what could I get my head around 10xing where I am right now? And if the answer is no, then fantastic, okay? Meaning that it's going to take an entirely new line of thinking. It's going to take an entirely new kind of basis, which should provoke excitement in you. I mean, you can't create 10x results without energy, without excitement. Right? You can't just kind of grind your way through it. That's incremental changes. That's being, a mechanic, an engineer, trying to get 2 or 3 more horsepower out of the car. No, if you want to, 10x the horsepower in the car, then you need to rip the engine out, put a brand new dragster engine in the thing. You can't replace the carburetor or put a fuel injection system on it and expect everything to change. No, it's got to be radical transformation. That takes a completely different kind of thinking for you. So I would challenge you to do that. If you've already been doing that, then, I'd love to hear. And in fact, I'd love to hear from you guys if you're willing to take up this challenge. I'd love to hear over the coming weeks, okay, what's being revealed to you? What are you planning on doing? How are you going to do this? Because it's not, obviously it's not enough. Just, we're not talking about The Secret here, right? Where you just kind of, visualize and manifest your dreams. We're talking about thinking about the future and then taking action. You need a plan. And I'm not down on The Secret or anything, but there are some people that think they can just sit around and think all day and these things just magically appear in their life. No, you have to take action. You have to do things based on what you're receiving and the information that you're gaining from answering these questions that you have. So I would love to hear what decisions you're making, what actions that you're taking. And as we begin this, I think all this is going to begin for us with a really big speaking engagement that I'm going to be starting with, where I'm going to be launching something entirely new. It's not going to change anything that you're doing with us, so don't worry about that. But I think it can bring in tens of thousands of new customers into bestseller publishing and people that I can help. And I'm really, really excited about it. So Cheryl says, I think right before excitement is a little depression, in all honesty. I recently made some huge decisions in my life, let go of some people, things in a good way. But for months, I wanted what you were saying, but was mentally stuck in the place I was, knowing I needed to change things, my thinking, my action, etc., and wasn't willing to do it. And then March 10th, I wrote, like you said, for hours, what do I want my life to be in 90 days, 1 year? And it revealed some major things, and I started changing things immediately. Cheryl, I love that. Tony Robbins talks about how change doesn't take place over days, weeks, and months. Change takes place in an instant. It starts with a decision. And I think the pain and the depression that you were going through was what prompted you to make the decision, right? The actual decision of what do I want my life to look like a year from now, 3 months from now, et cetera, that was maybe spurred on by the pain. And so some of us are very satisfied, perhaps, and happy in our lives, and I commend you. That's fantastic. If you're satisfied and you don't want to grow or you don't want to change, probably you're not on this call, but just in case you are, hey, fantastic. You don't have to do anything, right? I mean, that's the beauty of living in a free society. You don't have to do anything. But those of us that want to grow, then I challenge you not to think in terms of incremental changes. I want to grow 20%. I want to make, instead of 100,000 a year, 150,000. I'm telling you, that is harder to do than to go from 100 to 1 million. It's harder to do because the 100 to 1 million will require an entire new way of thinking. And if you can embrace that, then you can come up with the ideas and the strategies to actually win at that game. Otherwise, you'll grind it out in the past and the present instead of thinking about an entirely new future. So that's all I got for you. What questions do you have? What can I answer for you? If you don't have any, then no problem. I'll go have a lunch. And those of you that I'm going to see in just a few days, I will super look forward to seeing you. Every week, for those of you that are new on this call, every week it's something new. I don't usually talk about mindset stuff. So this was a little bit different. Oftentimes I talk tactics and strategies, how to use your book to set up funnels to attract clients into your business, how to use your book to get speaking engagements. I oftentimes will give a case study of a client, things of that nature. But I wanted to take a step back because this is something that I need, and I figured if it's something that I need where my business is at, it's something that you probably need as well because you have dreams, you have goals, you have ambitions. So you guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Deborah posted something, so I never drop off until I answer all the questions. Deborah says, I was also stuck, feeling pessimistic about my plans regarding my book and my business. My problem was that I couldn't actually visualize what my future looked like, but then I attended your $1 Million Author Summit and suddenly everything clicked. Now I can actually imagine the success I dreamed about. Thanks. That is such a kind thing to say, Deborah. I am super appreciative of that, and thank you for the super kind words. I mean, that is the point of the $1 Million Author Summit, which, by the way, the next one is in 4 weeks. None of you or most of you, if you're in BSP University, then you should come to the $1 Million Author Summit. If you're one of our done-for-you clients or mastermind clients, then you don't need to come. I have other events for you guys that are a little bit more along the lines of what you need help with. But thank you, Deborah. That is the hope. It's part, if you remember, we talk about mindset a little bit in the beginning, and part of the reason that we look at the case studies and all the things we look at is to help people to visualize where they can be a year, 2 years, 5 years, even 10 years down the line. Let's see, this is a private question, so let me just read it. Okay, yeah, happy to do that, Carl, except, I don't know what you're exactly looking for agenda-wise. Basically, the agenda for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is pretty simple. It's 9 to 5. We're going to start, registration is early. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday. We're going to go 9 to 5. Kevin it has several messages that he's prepared. We're also going to do some hot seats and directly help people. I have several things that I've prepared that I'll be helping you with. And then the last day, if you're coming on the last day and have been like privately invited to the last day, and obviously you have, the last day is more of a mastermind. It's a smaller group. It's one-on-one for our mastermind clients and a few people that I've issued special invitations for. And but I'll have Austin resend an email out to everybody. But again, I don't have like an hour by hour thing. We want you there and think in terms of 9 to 5 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you're coming to Saturday, then don't plan dinner on Thursday. We have a special dinner planned for you. And again, that's a by invitation only thing. Rebecca says, I'm still new, so this is my first time on a call, but I'm still excited to hear you and to be here today. I have a better idea of what will change with my already existing book that only sold a few. So awesome, Rebecca. Thank you for sharing, and welcome to Bestseller Publishing. I hope that the things that I share, not just on these calls, but in all the trainings and everything that you have access to, is helpful. That's the idea. I do love these live calls, and I think these live calls are really important because it gives me an opportunity to answer any questions that you have and also kind of tell you what's going on right now with BSP. As I said in the beginning, last year, record year. This year, already up 58% over where we were this time last year. That's nothing to be unhappy about. I'm very happy about it. But the stuff I'm dealing with is how do I really get energized and excited about something? And that happens when you think 10x. So, I wanted you to kind of hear the stuff that I'm thinking because I thought it would be helpful for you as well. So anyway, thank you so much for being on today. All this is recorded if you missed any of it, along with, the prior weeks and all of that. If you have any specific questions, please ask and engage in the private Facebook group. Do not just post a link to your book and kind of go away. That's spam, and that group is not a spam group. We don't want to link to your book. We want to build a relationship. We want to engage. Your network is equal to your net worth, and the network of the million and multi-million dollar earners that are on that page is significant. So engage with people, ask questions, answer their questions, etc., and build some great relationships in there. You guys are terrific. Those of you that are coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, super look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.